This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Baruch Haba, welcome everyone. I'd like to share with you the thoughts of the Klausenberger Rebbe on Tu B'Shvat Tavshin Lamed Hey, 1975. The Magen Avraham brings Siman Kuf Lamed Aleph Sif Katan Tesvav that Noyagin Ha-Ashkenazim. It is the custom of the Ashkenazim Laharbois B'minei Peiros Shalilanois to increase, to have many fruits on Tu B'Shvat. What's the reason for this? Why should Ashkenazim eat a lot of fruits on Tu B'Shvat? Klausenberger Rebbe says as follows. There's a Taz. The Taz is found in Archaim, Soif Siman Reish Chav Zayin, that says a person is destined to give a din v'cheshbain on anything that his eyes saw that he didn't partake of. The basic concept is, Rebbe Hashem created a world with many different kinds of hana'ah, and those hana'ah which are allowed, Rebbe Hashem wants us to experience and take pleasure in. Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, what is the source of such a concept? What is the makar of such an idea? He says, the source of such an idea is in the pasuk in Bereshis. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded Adam Rishon not to eat from the Eitz Hadas, beforehand Hashem said, Vayitzav Hashem l'gam l'adam leimar, mikol Eitz Hagan achol toichel. U'me'etz Hadas toiverav lo yisayich v'imenu. Hashem didn't just say, don't eat from the Eitz Hadas. If he would have just said, don't eat from the Eitz Hadas, we would have known on our own all the other fruits are permitted. Hashem said, you could eat from all the fruits, but don't eat from the Eitz Hadas. Why is Hashem introducing his words with, you could eat from the Eitz Hadas, you could eat from all the fruits? The Rebbe Hashem, therefore, thereby, is giving a mitzvah that even though you can't eat from the Eitz Hadas, there's a positive commandment. I would like you to be nene from all the various types of pleasures that are available. In fact, the Shlach HaKadosh says that Vayitzav Hashem Elokim al Adam Leimar Mikol Eitz Hagan Achal Toichel. It's a mitzvah saseh. God gave Adam Arishon a mitzvah saseh to partake of the fruits. Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, it could be that this is a makar for the Yerushalmi from the pasuk Achal Toichel. There's the makar of the Yerushalmi that one should be nene from the various forms of hana that are available in this world. Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, but actually if you look in our Shas, not in the Yerushalmi, our Gemara learns out something else from the Psukim Achal Toichel. In Sanhedrin and Vav Amud Beis, the Gemara uses the words Achal Toichel for a different trasha. Achal Toichel v'lo yiver min achai. So it seems like then it would be a machloikis, the Bavli and the Yerushalmi, whether one should partake of various hanos. According to Yerushalmi, we learn out from Achal Toichel perhaps, one should be nene from various hanos. The Yerushalmi, according to the Yerushalmi, one should be nene from various forms of hana. According to the Bavli, no. Achal Toichel tells me that you shouldn't eat. Adam Arishon was commanded not to eat Ever Min Achai. And accordingly, there's no makar for the Yerushalmi that one should be nene from various forms of hana. Only thing is, Tosfos in Sanhedrin asks, how could you darshan Achal Toichel v'lo Ever Min Achai? But the Gemara says, on the Testament Beis in Sanhedrin, Adam Arishon couldn't eat meat in the first place. So he's not allowed to eat meat. Then why do I need a drasha to say he can't eat Ever Min Achai? He can't eat any meat. The Rif in the Ein Yaakov answers Tosfos' kasha that where does the Gemara say on the Testament Beis, who is the man de Amar that says that Adam Arishon is not allowed to eat meat? It's Rav. He says Rav would hold that if Adam Rishon cannot eat meat, then he would not agree that Achal Toichel was a command not to eat Ever Min Achai. In other words, according to Rav, that Adam Rishon was not allowed to eat meat, Adam Rishon was never commanded not to eat Ever Min Achai. He would hold like Rabbi Yehuda, that Adam Rishon was only commanded against Avodah Zarah, but not against Ever Min Achai. Accordingly, Rav would be able to say that Adam Harishon was given a mitzvah saseh to partake of various hanos. But according to the man d'Amar that Adam Harishon was not allowed to eat Ever Min Achai, so Adam was allowed to eat meat. In other words, if you hold Adam was not allowed to eat meat like Rav, then Adam was never commanded not to eat Ever Min Achai, he couldn't eat any meat. But if you hold Adam was not allowed to eat Ever Min Achai, then he was allowed to eat meat in general. Now, why would Adam not have been allowed to eat meat? Why did God not allow Adam to eat meat? Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, because Adam was considered like an Amma Aretz, that he can't eat meat. The Gemara says in Masechta Psachim, Amem Tesam Beis, and Ama Aretz is now to eat meat. So because Adam Arishon had a taiva for the Pri Ha'etz, which is Nechmad Lahaskel, he lost his Chachma, and he's not allowed to eat meat. Like an Ama Aretz is not allowed to eat meat. But Noach, who learned Torah, is allowed to eat meat. Now why can't an Ama Aretz eat meat? Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, because meat is only needed to be mechazek one's mind to learn Torah. That is why we find, interestingly, in the Gemara Baba Kama Ayin Beis Amud Aleph, the Gemara says that they didn't teach something in the evening because they didn't eat meat, and therefore they didn't have the mind strength to teach. So the reason to eat meat is to be able to mechazek the mayach, to be able to learn Torah. Now, what's the makar that the function and purpose of meat is to strengthen Torah? Because the pasuk says, "Bein," in this week's parsha, "Bein ha'arbayim toichlu basar." Why dafka ba'erev? Because ikar rina shel Torah ba'erev. So the tachlis of eating meat is to learn Torah. So since ikar Torah is at night, the main time of achilas basar would be ba'erev. Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, wrapping it all up. We know Chazal say about Tu B'Av, that on Tu B'Av, someone who doesn't increase in their learning is Chayiv Misa. Because since the nights get longer, and Lo Ivra Lelia Ela Lager, so the tachlis of the night is to learn. So on Tu B'Av, where the nights begin to get longer and the days get shorter, one has to use their nights for Liman HaTorah. Says the Klausenberger Rebbe, if Tu B'Av, the nights get longer, because the days get shorter and the summer is ending, then Tu B'Shvat, the winter is ending and the days are getting longer and the nights are getting shorter on Tu B'Shvat. So if the nights are getting shorter, you might think you could decrease learning Torah. So what do? We say no, we're eating a lot of fruits. Why are we eating a lot of fruits? Like Adam Arishon, who was told, Achal Toichel, eat many different types of hana. Any hana that's available that you're not nene from, you're going to have to give a din v'cheshbon. Whoa, if that's the case, if we're declaring that we darshan, that we're commanded to be nene from many, many types of hanas, that means we're darshaning achal toichel, like the Yushalmi, that a person's accountable for any hana that they are able to experience and they don't. That means they argue on the Bavli. That means they don't darshan from Achal Toichel that Adam couldn't eat Eiver Min Achai, because we hold like Rav that Adam couldn't eat any meat. Why couldn't Adam eat any meat? Because he was considered like an Ama Aretz, and meat is only for an Ama Aretz. So by eating a lot of fruits and being nene from various hanas, we're paskening like the Yushalmi. We're paskening like Rav in the Bavli, that Adam Harishon was not allowed to eat any meat. Why? Because he didn't learn Torah. What we're saying is, tonight on Tu B'Shvat, don't mistakenly think since the nights are getting shorter, you could decrease your Limud Torah. No! What we're saying is, Adam Harishon couldn't eat meat. Why couldn't he eat meat? Because he's an Ama Aretz. Meat is only for Loim Dei Torah. Because meat, the Iker Rina Shel Torah is Balayla. And basically we're declaring that even though the nights are getting shorter, we still have to keep up our chizuk in Liman HaTorah B'Layla. This, says the Klausenberger Rebbe, is the Mahalach al pi Pilpul of why we're noig to eat fruits on the night of Tu B'Shvat. Wishing everyone Tu B'Shvat Sameach, Bracha v'Hatzlacha.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.